Which is tomorrow.
All right, it's 10:01. We will call our meeting to order today. If you would, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'll open up the opportunity for public comment. Is there any public comment at this time? Seeing none. Anything to add to our agenda today? Hearing none? All right. We'll move to our minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Commissioners work sessions and meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion has carried. Okay. This time we will welcome up Lee, and we'll talk about our contract award. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, everyone.
Green is good. Is it
Okay,
green?
there we go. Thank you. So today we're here to talk about the Willowbank roof replacement project. So we have reviewed all of the submitted bids, and today we are here to present award of the contract to Altoona Roofing in the amount of $805,750. This is a contractor that I am not familiar with personally, but Tremco has worked with for 20 plus years. I was also able to reach out to a gentleman at Southern Huntington School District. They had a likewise project in the neighborhood of $1.4 million, same installation as what we are looking at. So with that being said, they were considerably lower than all of the other bids that we had brought in. So with that, Tremco will also be on site from day one of the project through the end, and they also hold the 30-year warranty.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Any questions or comments, feedback? Okay.
The 30-year warranty is reassuring. Would have been great to have come up with a contractor maybe here in Center County, but this is a neighboring county. So pleased to see we're moving forward with the project.
And just one of the things that we want to circle back on is there were two parts of the bid. This is just for the Willowbank building. At this time, we would not be electing to go with the courthouse at this time. If we would choose at a future date to go with the courthouse, could we check to see if they would honor that price?
I'm sure they would, and yes, we
Okay.
could check on that. And they were also the low bid on that
Okay.
project as well,
Exactly.
yes.
Okay. All right. But today, we're just going to be doing the Willowbank building portion, which again is $805,750.
$750.
Okay. Okay. And we would not need to go into contract negotiations. This would be to award the contract.
That is correct.
Is that
Ru-
correct? Just want to.
Is there anything
Yeah.
that you would want to see amended or revised, or are you satisfied with the way it is currently presented?
I am satisfied, yeah. I think, like I said, the removal of the stone, we will, we don't have, it's not like we're paying extra to have that removed. We have places at the jail, we'll dump that, we can reuse that within the county, so things of that nature. But no, in reviewing it, I think it's pretty straightforward, and it was basically an apples to apples bid process.
Roughly when do they think they can start? Obviously, the weather is pretty bad right now.
And Adam, maybe you can speak to that?
Yeah, I'll have a Tremco.
Yeah, please, Adam, please, yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
We're good. So the materials we're using, we need about 40 degrees and rising. So we're able to bring materials, store them on the roof whenever the weather is springtime weather. So we're a little bit late in the season for that. But once we get our weather, the contractor's ready to accept the materials, springtime.
All right, so this will allow us to get everything in place and a smooth sailing as the weather warms up. Great. Okay, well, we can't ask for the weather to warm up any quicker, so we'll wait, yeah.
And I think maybe Adam can speak to the fact that some of as we've spoken in previous meetings, the contractors and supply chains and what they're seeing, and one, this guarantees our prices from
Sure.
escalating should, they continue to rise. But again, the material shortages, hopefully they'll ease by spring.
We're
Again.
expecting a big price increase in the next 2 months, so you guys are locked in. So
Good. Yeah, it's good. We've plenty of runway on here.
Just a point of
Yeah.
clarification, this is the contract award. We will be putting together the formal contract that we'll bring back in for you to approve in the
Okay.
formal session.
Correct, yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay, all right. Hearing none, we look for a motion.
Motion to approve the contract award.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, Lee and Adam, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to welcome up Chad at this time. Morning, Chad.
Good morning. We're asking for a recommendation to table this for another week while we can still discuss our recommendation.
Okay. Sounds good. Yep, we've been having some informational meetings on this to get an update on it, but it would be good to wait just one more week. So we'll look for a motion to table. Is there a motion to table?
Motion to table the recommendation of contract award for the RFP on Information Technology Management Services until Tuesday, December 7th.
I will second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Okay, under contracts and authorizations, we'll turn over to Margaret for this one, and we may be delaying this one as well, just tabling it a week as well.
Yes, this first item is a contract renewal with the Center for Alternatives and Community Justice for the 2022 year. But we need to wait for your introduction and approval of the 2022 budget before we award this contract. So we're suggesting that it be tabled for a couple of weeks.
Okay. So we would look for a motion to table this 1 week, and
One week or two?
what do we need?
The budget will be introduced on December 7th, so probably after that, December 14th.
2 weeks? Okay, 2 weeks. All right, would there be a motion?
Motion to table the contract renewal with the Center for Alternatives and Community Justice until the December 14th Commissioners meeting.
I will second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay. And for elections, we'll turn it back to Mark.
Yes, this item is an invoice from OPEX to provide maintenance for two machines for the period of December 3rd, 2021 to December 2nd, 2022. These are machines in our elections office, and if the number means anything to anybody, it's STD 8H/4H model 72. So,
Of course.
Those are
That's
the
right.
big ones we have in room 116.
That's right, yeah, that is right. Yep. Okay, so we have two, this is maintenance for those two machines, and again, for the upcoming year. Is there a motion to add it to next week's consent?
Motion to add the invoice from OPEX to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you, Margaret. Natalie, we'll welcome you up at this time. Good morning.
Good morning. So I have before the board today Youth Service Bureau contracts. So the first contract is to provide an additional $162,745 for the fiscal year that we just completed. We were able, within Drug and Alcohol Services, to provide additional funding for programs such as their youth centers, their youth haven, and their independent living programs, all prevention services that we can do. So we were able to provide some additional funding to them near the year end to help with their expenses throughout the year. Contract 2 is for their specific drug and alcohol performance-based prevention services. That totals $213,650. As you can see, we get federal funding, state, and then a county portion of that for this fiscal year. And that's, again, those evidence-based programs that they do at their youth centers, in the schools, and at other community projects for us throughout the county. Then our third contract is specific to mental health, so that's housing support, family support. This is our SAP liaison. This is our CASP team, and our family group decision-making services. Contract total $74,000. And then the final one is specific to early intervention services, and they help us with our special instructions and our IFSP teaming, which are plans that families have to create and have team meetings. So that contract total is $2,000.
Thank you, Natalie. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to add the mental health, intellectual disability, early intervention, drug and alcohol items 1 through 4 to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
All right, been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Welcome Chad back up for a renewal with Citrix.
I have a contract renewal recommendation for Citrix Remote Desktop. It's our annual maintenance support contract for their product. Contract total is $13,299, and it runs January 15th, 2022 to January 14th, 2023.
Thank you very much, Chad. Any questions or comments on this? We know that
Straightforward.
Citrix has been an invaluable partner with us in terms of a lot of going remote. This is so it's really crucial we continue this. Okay. would there be a motion?
Motion to add the contract renewal with Citrix to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Thank you.
Chad, appreciate it. Okay, welcome John up for this item with Palmetto Posting. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before you is a contract amendment with Palmetto Posting. We've been using them for the last 5 or so years for posting of properties that will be listed for the annual upset sell as well as delinquent current year taxes. So before you is a contract amendment for the coming year. There is no change to the contract terms other than we are just renewing for an additional year. We're asking that we have this placed on the consent agenda.
Thank you, John. Any questions or comments on this? Nope. Again, very straightforward. Okay, all right, thank you, John. We look for a motion.
Motion to add the contract amendment with Palmetto Posting, Inc. to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
All right, so moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried. Okay. All right, in our grant section, we do have one today with Pccd, and we'll turn it to Margaret.
Yes, thanks very much. This item is a no-cost request to extend the Pccd contract for the 2021 Stop Violence Against Women Project grant. The extension will be for 4 months. The original project grant was $145,000, but this, as I said, is a no-cost extension. They have some funding left to spend. Pccd is willing to provide them an additional 4 months to meet that program.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. We look for a motion.
Motion to approve the submission of the project modification request to the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency.
I will second that.
It has been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay. We have today's consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve it?
Motion to approve this week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried. Okay. Welcome up Ann at this time. We're excited as always for our liquid fuels program for next year. Got some great requests from, oh, go ahead.
This one's a little different. If I was looking at the right charts,
Oh, okay.
this is big.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, good morning, Commissioners. I have a brief presentation, and we'll run through that, and then if you have any questions, please ask. So the focus today is part of our local transportation funding program, and we are focusing on liquid fuels. If you'll recall, in 2017, the commissioners provided this program with the idea of using a variety of funds to improve transportation in the county. And we have been very good at distributing the funds, and it has created some interesting flexibility for municipalities to get some of these projects completed that otherwise would not be completed. We do have to get permission from District 2 on the liquid fuels. There are some limitations. The main items being construction and maintenance and repair of roadways is acceptable. And there are some other related expenditures such as signage and equipment. But typically what we do in terms of evaluation is what is the need? Is it going to improve safety? What were the past contributions from the county to the municipality? And what is the municipality or other source on behalf of the municipality contributing to the project? And this is just a real quick schedule, just outlining when we had initial discussion. And today is our recommendations just for liquid fuels. Fee for local use, wanted to do as a separate update because we're still getting some information from District 2. As of this morning, I got it, so didn't want to create confusion. In terms of liquid fuels, we get a June and December allocation, and we have a little bit of interest. So the total program for 2022 is $164,427.83. There were actually 23 applications received, which is similar to previous years. All of the applications were eligible, which is good. We have had to sometimes reject, which we don't like doing. Two municipalities actually submitted 2 applications, and the total funding for all 23 applications was over $900,000. So that just speaks to the challenge of reviewing these projects and evaluating them and how do we use these funds. So the estimated funds with interest is $164,427.83. So what you see up here, it's probably a little hard to see, is our recommended list in terms of projects. And we came up with this recommended list for a variety of reasons. Some of these municipalities, they all are safety projects. Each application indicated that they had some safety issue that they were trying to resolve. And many of them are roadway deterioration, so they need to put some significant work into these roadways to make them better and safer. We do have one that is actually an intersection improvement, which will make that intersection safer for the municipality. And you'll see there is a table there that kind of shows what the request is. There is a new column, the 2022 recommendation. The value is slightly different because the dollar request is over 165, and we only have 164,000 and some change to work with. So we felt like these were all very good projects, but can't quite cover them all. So staff is making the recommendation to adjust slightly the Patton Township request. They had a request of $48,300. We are recommending $47,000. We thought that covered the vast majority of the dollars and also assisted in moving forward this project. As you move across to the right, you'll see the total project cost, the percentage that the county would be contributing, and then the municipal contribution. And then finally, in the last column, you'll see the last time these municipalities actually received funding. And in some cases, it's actually been quite a while. So we thought that factored into our recommendations. And any questions?
Thank you, Ann. Any questions or comments?
Obviously, a lot of work has been put into that and a lot of thought, and I think it's very, very satisfactory.
So the briefing binder I was reading was for both the $5 fee and liquid fuels, and we're just covering the liquid fuels today then.
The binders,
Yeah.
were just liquid fuels. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, they were just liquid fuels. In the past, we combined at this point in the year.
Yes.
But I didn't have enough information to do that. But the vast majority of the applications, when the letter went out in August, was for liquid fuels only. So we have used fee for local use kind of as a supporting funding stream for projects.
So we'll be discussing that one next week then?
So what I'd like to do, since I just got the information, is actually discuss that on the 14th.
Okay.
If that's acceptable.
All right.
Absolutely. It's a difference. Liquid fuels eligibility or allowability versus the fee for local use are different, slightly different. And so again, District 2 has to sign off on them, from that standpoint. I know liquid fuels typically gets more priority, so I think we're front-loading the process here. But it's more than likely we're going to be funding some of the projects that are not on the recommended list with fee for local use, the $5.
It seems like every year we get 24 applications for liquid fuels. It totals $1 million, $1.5 million. And because the liquid fuels allocations are based, I believe, on, correct me if I'm wrong, car registrations in the state of Pennsylvania in like 1924 or 1926 is the biggest part of their formula for that allocation. We always get $160,000 to $200,000.
This is based on vehicle miles traveled and the liquid, the gas is consumed. So last year we had 150,000, but this year people are driving more, so that helps us a little.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit more to work with. The fee for local use is based on vehicle registrations, and we get all those dollars, which is great because there is definitely a need here in the county.
Yes.
So yeah, so future, more to come in future weeks, but this is a good place and to start from with these recommendations. And we'll take a look at these and circle back next week. So thank you again for the diligence on this. And again, to the municipalities that might be watching, or even though your name might not have been on here, that's not, we're still processing this. We're still looking at other ways to fund these, but this is just an initial cut at it. So thank you. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Any other? Okay, all right. Any questions for Ann? Okay, all right. Thank you again. Appreciate it. So what we'll do is we will take action just to move this forward from a procedural standpoint. So we look to add this for next week's consent agenda.
Motion to add the 2022, I should say, just liquid fuels, right?
That's correct, yes.
Motion to add the 2022 liquid fuels allocations to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion is carried. Okay. All right, and Margaret, Administrator's report.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that we are on the home stretch in preparation of our 2022 county budget request. We have a couple of informational work sessions remaining, and we will have the budget request presentation here next Tuesday. And then, of course, in accordance with the town code, there will be a 20-day public review and comment period, and hopefully adoption on the last week of December.
Okay, thank you very much, Margaret. We will look then for Commissioner Higgins and the check run.
Substantially smaller than normal check run, less than half the normal size, at $631,113.89. And kind of in support of the Stop Violence Against Women Act, we did cut two checks totaling $10,179.34 to Center Safe for services delivered in both June and October. So would like to make a motion to approve the check run dated November 19th.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve today's check run. Any final discussion on the check run? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion is carried. Okay, thank you, Commissioner. And Commissioner Grisham, anything to report voter registration?
We will not have a report today. I would hope that maybe by next week we will be back up and running with voter registration reports.
Okay, sounds good. Right. Any executive sessions for us to report this morning?
Yes, the Board of Commissioners met in executive session on Friday, November 19th, from 3:25 to 3:38 p.m. to discuss a personnel matter. And the board does need to meet in executive session before adjournment today to also discuss personnel matters.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. We have our public meeting schedule there. All right. Any questions before we go into executive session? Haley or Gary? Yeah.
Where does the proposal stand? Are you still working with State College Borough in terms of the possible formation of the health department?
Yes, so last week we had a very helpful, or it might have been actually 2 weeks ago, but we had a very helpful informational session regarding it. Again, proceeding very slowly, step by step on this, but more to come in the future.
Are you still working with the borough, or are you looking at a separate county department, or how's things coming together?
Oh, sure. So the study lead is still considering both tracks, so we're proceeding forward with what it would look like in both instances.
Is it safe to say that we're talking about COVID for almost 2 years now, with cases still being reported, is the main motivator for this idea?
Oh, sure. It's both. I think COVID has increased the conversation statewide. We were just at our CCAP conference, and there are a few counties that are proceeding forward with creating a health department. Delaware County started this prior to the pandemic, and they've sort of hastened it as the pandemic has gone forward. I think in our case, it's on the table due to the pandemic, but there are other benefits, and we learned a lot of those during the informational session. That was open to the public as well, but it's anything from kids' health, senior health. It's a lot of other things other than specifically testing for coronavirus or vaccines. There's a lot of other things going on here, but again, we're still in the information gathering stage. This will go well into 2022 in terms of finding out a little bit more about it.
The study on salary levels, is that Archer? Is that what's called?
That's
Archer?
correct. Yes.
Archer.
Yep. Yep.
I'd ask, is that complete now, or nearly complete?
Sure, Margaret, if you wanted to.
The study is expected to be completed in the first quarter of 2022. The consultant is now meeting with department heads and consolidating information. They'll take that information, they'll do market analyses and so forth, but we're very much in the middle of it and expect completion by the first quarter of 2022.
Do you know if the finished report will be made public?
Yes, the final report, yes, it would have to be, yes.
It will be made public then?
It would have to be, yes, yeah.
So it's not playing into, as you put together the budget right now, that report is not a factor right now in terms of salary levels or whatever?
Yes, that's correct. It's not since we don't have that final data, it's difficult to implement cross-county-wide increases based upon data that isn't finalized yet. So it will be a separate item coming into the new year.
That's all I have, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Gary. Okay, Haley, anything today? Okay. All right, we look for a motion to go into executive session due to personnel matter.
Motion to go into executive session at 10:27.
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.